Hello, this is Joe83, and this is round 8 of the season of AOR F2, and we're here in Baku for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and interestingly, and rather worryingly, it is wet in qualifying. I'm not a fan of the wet weather, because I'm horrifically slow compared to my pace in the dry, so yeah, not really looking forward to this qualifying session. It's going to be intermediate conditions the whole way through, but it's going to get slightly drier at the end, so that could improve the track quite a bit. But onto the first lap, just trying to keep it nice and clean, get a good banker. We don't want to be panicking about staying a lap at the end of the session. So yeah, short shifting up into 7th gear for these last two corners, which are definite corners in the wet, even though they're completely flat out in the dry. But we had to have a big lift there, and unfortunately, yes, not the best run onto the start-finish straight. But after the first 7 rounds of the season, I've got a very healthy lead in the championship. I think it's something like 50 points. I've won 4 races and I've come second in the other 3, so pretty good going so far. I'm hoping for similar stuff in Baku, obviously after that break week, just trying to get back into the swing of things quite well, really. And yes, onto the second lap here, and a little bit down on my previous time, but through the castle section, it's definitely time to make up, but braking a little bit too late and almost into the barrier on the right hand side there, and obviously the lap is pretty much over after that mistake, and also hitting the wall on the inside. So yeah, not too good. I'm going to back off and come back to the pits, and then yeah, go for one more lap at the end of the session with only 5 minutes left. And yeah, this is that lap. Coming in and start the start-finish straight and braking just below intermediate, down to 3rd gear, a little bit late on the apex there, missed it slightly over that curb nicely, a little bit of oversteer and exit, braking just at the gap in the wall there. So the 2nd gear for his next corner, lock it at the front right a little bit, and now on the exit trying to get a good run, but it's a little bit down on my previous lap. I'm currently in P6, which is not very good. I definitely want to improve up towards the top 4 at least. And yeah, into the next section, putting it into lean mix with a better traction, braking slightly early there for turn 3, and 3rd gear for the better better traction, sorry, an exit, and a second for his next one, all the way up onto the outside wall there, and it's 2 tenths up now, so it's pretty decent first sector, and now down towards the next corner. Really want to get close to that left hand side wall, missed it a little bit there, and that's not going to open up the run too much, but a pretty decent exit there, not hitting the curb or anything. So now gaining time all the way down the straight, and now onto 3 tenths up into the castle section now. A lot of curb on the entry, pretty decent run through there, gained another 1/10 of a second on my previous, into the castle section, trying it as quickly as possible, but not making any mistakes obviously. And 2nd gear, almost hitting down the side wall, a little bit of a wobble through the mid corner there, and not really the best exit, but we're still 4.5 tenths up, and maybe even, yeah, we're going to gain time on the exit as it's getting drier, so the traction is a lot easier than it was at the start of the session, and we're half second up now down towards this very, very tricky second last corner, and 3rd gear, missing the curb quite a lot there, not hitting the wall or anything, so we're 7 tenths up now, which is pretty, very, very good actually, if I can finish this lap well into the last corner. Purple in sector 2 at the minute, with 9 tenths up on T Quickshare. The run through that last corner and the exit especially was absolutely shocking, so we've lost at least 2 tenths already on the exit, and that's going to cost me time all the way down the straight, although taking a much better line through the final 2 corners. We're gaining time now compared to my previous, but it's not going to be a great lap. I think it's going to be nowhere near pole really. Scotty made it, who's on the controller, was much faster than me in these conditions and on this track generally. So yeah, it's not really pole position, but crossing line, so 53.0. Plus be currently in P3 on the grid, which is pretty good, but by the end of the session it was down to P5. I definitely could have been 4th, because you look at the gap to Ruben, only 200ths of a second. So yeah, could have been P4 there, but 5th isn't too bad with the grid of 14. I think 15 once someone joined in the in qualifying as well. But yes, obviously with a wet quali you can choose whatever tyres you want to start on, so I decided to go medium onto hard tyres was the plan. I didn't fancy starting on hards in case of yeah, early safety cars, and obviously the start is very important to try and get track position as well. Overfueling the car quite a lot with the long straights and such, and coming onto the grid for the 5 lights for the Azerbaijan Baku Grand Prix from 5th place on the grid. It's quite a long hold, but we're away eventually. We've got Ruben and Daigoro both on hard tyres ahead of me, and Scotty's not got a great start from pole. And I can't go around the outside of Ruben into turn 1. He's going to hit Daigoro, it looks like, and I've gone completely around the outside and taken 4th place already. I think Ruben must have got damaged in that situation as well. So yeah, pretty okay start. Rockwell actually takes the lead, the new driver in the Renault, takes the lead from Scotty, who's down to 2nd place. Myself just behind Daigoro, and top 4. I've got a bit of a gap already, almost a second back to Teak in 5th. And now I'm down towards turn 3. Nothing doing in terms of overtakes, just trying to keep it nice and clean. No damage. It's a very long race here in Baku, so yeah, you don't want to keep picking up stupid front wing damage at the start. But Scotty and Rockwell still going wheel to wheel up ahead, so just try and capitalise on any sort of opportunities, but don't want to go for anything too stupid. And Scotty meanwhile round the outside of Rockwell into the next corner, and he's going to make that stickers eat down the exit. Daigoro could have a chance here because they're slowing each other up so much. Daigoro's down the inside of the Renault driver as well, and kind of make something happen here, braking very late into the next corner. Not Teak, Daigoro's locked up, gonna have to back out of that one. Not really enough space to be running side by side there. As I said, try and keep it nice and sensible on lap 1. Pretty slow run through the castle as well, so nothing doing in terms of overtakes or anything. And yes, down towards the next corner onto lap 2. Daigoro is still just ahead of me, but he's gone pretty wide there. Got a pretty decent exit. He's going to have to go defensive. Down second gear. He's got locked up, gone a little bit wide. We're going to do a switch pack move on Daigoro. Down the outside now. Obviously, my tyres are better at this stage of the race and braking nice and late into next corner. Third gear, second gear for the better turn in. Around the outside of Daigoro. Goes to the inside line for the second part and taking that position. A little bit of contact because it's an awkward corner to get through. You don't want to hit that inside curve at all. And now down the inside into turn 7, and we've got that move done. On Daigoro up into the podium places now, which is pretty good going. To say we started 5th, and it's not a great track for me in terms of pace, but we've now got to try and drive quickly and catch up to the back of the Renault and the Williams up ahead, who are battling for the lead still, it looks like. And here Scotty goes once again on Rockall. He's going to actually go wide, really. I don't know what happened there, but a virtual safety car is out at the same time. And yeah, I don't think that was Rockall's fault. It looks like Scotty went for a move and locked up and got it wrong, so that's raised me up into P2. And I'm now in the back of Rockall in the Renault, so pretty good going. And 1 lap later, exactly at the same place. Not really close enough. We're 1.7 seconds back, so we've got to try and catch up. But a safety car will definitely help me catch up, obviously. I don't know why that safety car was called out. I don't think anything actually happened. But yeah, that's going to bunch everyone up and also give us a bit of a conundrum whether to pit or not. I decided not to pit. Because I thought it was a little bit early. I thought I could do something different on strategy. Rockall also stayed out, so yeah, the medium tyres, obviously they're not very worn yet. The idea was to go to about lap 12 and then pit for hards. But yeah, I decided not to. A few drivers did, so I might be in a bit of trouble because I need to build up a pit stop gap over those sorts. I think Big C pitted and a few others as well. Scotty definitely, no, Scotty's foot just forward because he made that mistake, right? My mistake. But yes, on the restart now, I might be in trouble because I've got to try and make up a pit stop gap. But Rockall has now gone. We've gone with him actually, so dropped Ruben a little bit behind me, and Rockall just ahead. We're definitely picking up a slipstream here, and Rich Mix plenty now because fuel is not an issue with the safety car. And now down towards the first corner, very cold tyres, so we'll keep it nice and safe. Rockall goes a little bit wide on those mediums, but gets pretty good exit there. And down towards turn 2, he's going to lock up once again. He's gone very wide this time in turn 2. That's going to give me a chance to get a good exit here down the inside. Overtake mode being well and truly used up, and Rich Mix as well. Got the inside line on Rockall and taken the lead of the race on lap 7. I don't think it's a net lead because the likes of Big C, who's only 2 seconds back in 5th, has pit already onto hards. He's going to try and go to the end. So I really need to push as hard as possible, make the most of these medium tyres, and try and gap Rockall if I can. And yeah, by lap 8, you can see another safety car has been deployed for Kez this time, who really shouldn't be in this league, but whatever. Yes, safety car is out again. I really should have pit. In hindsight, my tyres, you can see, I've kind of fined the 29%, so I elected to stay out once again. But lap 8, it was kind of the right time to pit. I don't know why I stayed out, but yeah, Rockall is going to pit behind me onto hards. I just decided that I wanted to stay out of trouble because I thought if I pit and end up with people who aren't really my pace, I might end up crashing and getting damage and stuff. So I just thought, keep in the clear air, try and do my own race and see what happens later on. But yeah, everyone now, Big C is second, going to the end. I think Teak is going to the end. Rockall's definitely going to the end in 5th as well. So I really need to push on these mediums while they've still got some tyre life to give. Just try and get them nice and warm on the restart here, and getting ready to go to try and leave Big C behind. But yes, I need to push as hard as possible and make up a pit stop gap over some of my rivals. I don't think it's going to be possible over Big C because these tyres will only go for like maybe 10 laps at a push. But yes, it's going to be quite difficult to make up a pit stop gap as the hard tyres will not be too bad at this stage of the race compared to mediums with the tyre wear I've got. But a few laps later, I have already got the purple lap. We're about to make it even faster with a 43.6 there, so very quick pace at the minute. We've got a 7-second gap to Scotty already, so that's sort of what I was looking at. With Big C only 3 seconds back, it's pretty unlikely we're going to be able to gap him, especially since now lap 19, and my tyres are over 70%, I think, so we're going to box this lap. Luckily, because I went so long in this first stint on mediums, I was able to go onto the soft tyres. You can see there, I think it was 65% of the rears. So yeah, definitely the right time to pit. And the softs will quite easily do 7 laps at the end of the race. So it's a bit of a shame because you can see Scotty is only 7 seconds back. Luckily, Juan Mita and everyone behind him had dropped back pretty quickly. So it should be quite easily, quite comfortably 4th. And obviously soft tyres, I can absolutely fly on those tyres and hopefully catch up to the back of Scotty and Ruben, who are on very dead mediums. And into the box now, soft tyres on 2.6 seconds. Pretty good going, and you can see on the minimap the Mercedes, Rockall actually behind, is going to be quite a long way back, and that's easily P4 for me, and I've got about 12 seconds, 11-12 seconds to Scotty in 6 laps. I need to go 2 seconds a lap faster. That's probably possible on these tyres. So hopefully, yeah, you can see 1 lap later, 2 laps later, the first flying lap, and it's a 41.3. We've already gained 4 seconds on him. So if we keep that sort of pace up, we're going to be absolutely lighting the timing boards alight. And yeah, on to the next lap. We gained another 1.5 seconds already this lap. We're purple in the first 2 sectors. Coming through the final straight here is a yellow flag up ahead and a safety car, which is very interesting in this stage of the race. It probably will help me because obviously the gaps are going to close a lot. If they decide to pit now, I think they'll come out behind me. And you can see the Williams up ahead is going to pit off Scotty. My tyres are absolutely fine, so obviously I'm going to stay out because there's no point pitting again. I'm going to take the track position. Scotty is going to pit for soft tyres in 4th. I'm back up onto the podium place. And this safety car could have really played into my advantage because, yeah, 1 lap later, Ruben decided to pit 1 lap into the safety car stint. So obviously he made a mistake by not pitting, or maybe he was past the pit lane. But either way, yeah, he's had to pit now. So I'm up into 2nd place. We've got Bigsy on dead hards, weaving all over the place trying to get tyre temperature. And we've got Scotty and Rockall behind on softs. Yeah. Same strategy as me, but a little bit fresher tyres, and I'll try and put alongside Bigsy to get a good restart. And he's still trying to warm his tyres up, and he's actually just weaved into me there. Yeah, Gus going to give us a penalty, unfortunately, because this game is fantastic. And yes, 5-second penalty. I will be getting that removed, hopefully. But Bigsy, because of that, has absolutely dropped me on the restart. Scotty's definitely close enough here, only a 10th back, and it's turn 1, not gone defensive for some reason. And he's going to go down the inside and take the position. It looks like the Williams driver, he did have better pace than me, so I was kind of expecting that, especially on the slightly fresher tyres as well. But Scotty takes the position into P2. And I should really have been winning this race from that restart. Obviously, Bigsy on dead hards. I should have cleared him as soon as possible and then driven off. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. And yeah, Scotty now is pushing Bigsy through the castle section. There's such a tyre delta because Bigsy's been on those tyres since I think lap 8 or something. So yeah, Scotty takes the lead. I'm still in 3rd place. We've got 1 more lap after this to try and make something happen on Bigsy. It was a really short stint at the end of the race. DRS won't even be enabled at the end of this race. But Bigsy has already dropped back from Scotty. You can see he's pretty much got this race in his pocket now. And Bigsy is going so slowly through the final corner. I've got to use all my overtake and rich mix. I've got so much spare fuel because obviously I had so many safety car laps now. I think it's about 8 laps or 9 laps of safety car action. So yeah, a lot of fuel to burn, and we're using it right now. And Bigsy just ahead of me. Obviously no DRS, unfortunately. He's picking up a little bit of a slipstream from Scotty as well. So I'm not close enough. I just can't make anything happen and try and pull out the slipstream always, try to fake him into going defensive or something. And unfortunately, Rockall is going to brake so late, almost take me out there. I thought he went massively wide, but he actually kept the car in and absolutely mugged me off. Fair enough. I didn't expect that at all. I thought he'd gone so wide on the entry. But yeah, what a move from him, and that's me down to 4th place. I'm absolutely bottling this restart. And yeah, Rockall is now focusing right on Bigsy and trying to make the move into turn 3. Bigsy a little bit too far ahead, it looks like, and Ruben's going to try the inside of me as well, so I've got to leave him space on the inside, but keep that position in 4th place for now. Rockall going up the inside of Bigsy. It's turn 4 here, a little bit of curb usage, and Bigsy up against that wall. Rockall going side by side through the section. Can we make something happen? They're going to slow each other up so much, it looks like. Bigsy's going very deep. I'm going to try and land a switchback move. 2nd gear, getting good turn in. Rockall going defensive. It's 3 wide down towards turn 7. This is not where you want to be on the inside, but Rockall braking very late. I'm going to have to cut the corner to try and stay ahead, but unfortunately Rockall has got a good exit. I don't want to be going side by side to here, so keeping it nice and safe and almost hitting that outside wall. Rockall has taken a position back. I've hit the inside wall this time, got a bit of damage. This is absolute carnage, and not running wide luckily. And Ruben has got Bigsy as well, so down from 2nd into 5th in half a lap really. My engine's about to blow up as well, and coming into the final sector, Rockall is just too far ahead of me. Scotty has absolutely walked away with this race. Rockall did have a penalty actually, so if I stay with him it should be P2 for me. Coming through the final corner now, and 3rd gear, taking too much curb there, and unfortunately I'm going to get a penalty on the very last corner of the entire race, which is an absolute bottle job from myself. Yeah, I had 1 warning for 25 laps, and then on lap 26 I picked up 2 warnings for corner cutting, so absolute bottle job from me, and it's going to cost me a podium place. It cost me, I think, a B2 because actually Rockall didn't have a penalty, but Ruben did, and Bigsy didn't. So unfortunately, yeah, the penalty cost me a 3rd place, which is a massive bottle job for myself. Obviously 5 seconds hopefully will get removed, so I will be P4. No, sorry. Bigsy's getting a penalty removed as well, so I'll be P4, Big C will be P3, and Ruben will be P5, I believe, after penalties. But yes, we'll have to wait and see for the stewards' inquiries on those. But showing the race director here to show I did not serve it. You can see I got 1 warning on lap 18, and then another 2 warnings on lap 26. So yeah, not the best for myself, and unfortunately that's the way it goes sometimes. My worst result of the season, but considering it's P4 and I've still extended my championship lead over Ruben, who's in second at the minute, so I'll pretty happily take that. I got a fastest lap as well, so not the worst thing in the world. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have any likes, subscribe if you want to see more. This has been JWay3, and I will see you next time.